Hey guys, so it's the week leading into the Dare photography experience and I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight into it.
Would you let me in your room? All I know is how I left so soon.
Okay, so what Dare is all about, at its heart, is waking people up. So what the fuck does that mean? One of the things that I see that stops people, that stops creatives living the kind of life that they want, taking the kind of photographs that they want, creating the work that ideally they'd have in their life to support the life that they want, right? Is we talk ourselves out of it. We talk to ourselves in our heads. We say to ourselves, you can't do this because, you can't do this because I'm too old. I can't do this yet because I'm too young. I can't do this yet because I'm not experienced enough. What if people think I'm stupid? I can't do this yet because my parents will go crazy. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. It's mostly negative talk. And what Dare is about, even in a very practical taking a photographs kind of a way, it could be like on a portrait shoot, shooting someone we've never met before. It could be a bride and groom at a wedding. The degree that we're willing to almost like be vulnerable and push through our boundaries is the degree to which our images are going to shine, because it allows us to get closer in, yeah, literally, as well as like almost like metaphorically in terms of like connecting with people, getting people to open up for the camera. It takes being a little bit daring at times, like perhaps, so if the line's here and we're inside our comfort zone and we come up against the edge of our comfort here, what Dare's about is how do we take that next step? And the degree to which we can begin to push through is the degree to which, well, our images are going to shine and we're going to manifest the work that we want in our lives. And we're going to be willing to do what it takes when we need to do it. Because you look, those guys, all of those guys, the photographers and the guys doing great stuff in their lives, right? They've pushed through. They've come up against it. They've come up against the edge of their comfort zone and they've pushed through. What happens in this day and age, what I've seen is that a lot of people have read the book, How to Be Happy in 30 Steps. Feel the fear and do it anyway. So they read the book and something in those books rings true for them. Of course it rings true because we know that information anyway, intellectually, but to push through and to do what it's saying that we have to do in those books to create the kind of life that we want, it's very difficult to do it on our own. So Dare is set up in a way that supports you to do that, supports you to have an experience, well, of what those books are talking about in effect. It's also, Dare, a whole lot of fun. It's like you'll laugh at yourself. The stuff that you thought was important, like in terms of creating the kind of life you want in photography, my experience is that over the 2 days, it dissolves, it falls away. Dare's kind of not about teaching anyway. It's more of like we're all in it together and just having a look over the 2 days at what's holding us back, what's stopping us from creating the kind of life that we want. Because you deserve it. Life's short, such a cliche. And because it's a cliche, it's kind of, we don't pay it too much mind, I don't think. Like, life is so short. And we have to wake up, guys, because before we know it, we'll be sitting there with 70 years behind us and we'll be thinking, where the fuck did that time go? Like, yeah, I freak out. And that's fine. It's like, what I'm seeing now is that I don't pay that conversation as much attention as I used to all those years ago. And because of that, it's freed me up and it's enabled me to create some amazing experiences for myself in the last 20 years. We take things so seriously as well. Well, in the sense of that, like we're behind schedule right, in life and we need to get a fucking move on, then it is serious. But the stuff that we think serious is just so not. It's just like, in my experience, I'm guilty of it as much as anybody. Quite often it's the fear of being judged as well. And you know what, guys? Nobody's looking. Nobody's actually looking. I think we got it wrong, you know, that we're the centre of the universe. It's like everybody's so wrapped up in their own stuff. Nobody's looking. Nobody cares, really. So one of the things I've seen over the years is that we're not going to grow creatively by climbing flat mountains. It's like we need a rigor. We need that pull. We need that, almost like that tension. We need to come up against the edge of our comfort zone. We need to keep pushing. When we're up against it and we're feeling like, shit, I can't do this, that's where possibility lies. Like the possibility to grow, like creatively, to have insight. That comes through doing what we think that we can't do. Well, that's life, right? It applies to everything. But absolutely it applies to photography too. But for me, it's very difficult for us to do it on our own. So that's why Dare's been set up to support people to push through. Dare is like this like safe environment where you can come and you can get to challenge yourself, get to have insights and have an experience of yourself that perhaps you wouldn't have had before. So that by the end of the 2 days, you leave there, you feel great, and that information sticks. Have you ever noticed that when you read one of those books or you read a whole bunch of information, it's very easy after a short period of time to just forget about it, right? That's because it's intellectual. It's only when we put one foot in front of the other, it's only when we do the actual work that the information sticks. So also at the workshop we have live shoots on both days, and I invite people to be spontaneous, be creative, and if they freeze up like on portraits, that's fine, rather than sort of kind of thinking, oh, like everybody's looking at me or the person I'm shooting's going to think I'm a total idiot. What if it's okay to feel like that? I think it's by not allowing ourselves to feel how we're feeling, we're taking from ourselves. There's something really valuable in just acknowledging that it's all right to feel how we're feeling when we're on a shoot. There's something that, I don't know, it's kind of, because when we don't acknowledge that, it's kind of like we're distracted up here and we're not seeing anything. So when we allow ourselves to just be as we are, I think this slows down and then we see more. Oh, it's so lovely out there, I should be out. Another great benefit of doing the workshop is the post support group. I mean, it's awesome. So after you've done the workshop, you're invited to come into a Facebook group. It's based in Facebook and it's closed down, so it's like a secret group. And it's just a great place to continue putting into practice on a daily basis the information from that you got from the workshop. We have like a weekly challenge in there where you have to post a picture that you took the previous week. Keeps you on the balls of your feet, and it's a great bunch of guys in there. I don't have any sort of cliques in my workshop. The post support group, I don't like any of that stuff. It's like we're all in it together. No one's made to feel less than anybody else because they've maybe not got as much experience. It really is a great little support setup, guys. I'm doing the workshop now for must be 6-7 years. I've had so many people from all walks of life come and do the workshop. Guys just starting out have shared with me time and time again how much the workshop's benefited them creatively as photographers, but also it spills into their life. What I'm talking about at the workshop, it isn't just a few tips and tricks that you could have Googled pretty much. It's digging deep. It's like mining for quality. And I'll tell you what Dare is, right? It's a weight off. Like that's my experience of what the guys that come and do the workshop, how they benefit. It's just a weight off. It's like continuously zoning in on the reason for you for picking up a camera in the first place, which is because you just loved it, right? Because for me, that's the most important thing. Just I do this for the love of photography, nothing else. Feel free to message me, guys, if you want any more information. Give it some thought. You won't regret it. It's an awesome 2 days. I'm going to drop some links below. Yeah, so like I said, subscribe to the channel, please. Maybe flip on your notifications. Thumbs up, and yeah, maybe leave me a little comment. It'd be great. Just be really supportive, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Would you let me in your room?